Hey everybody, welcome to today's edition of Featured Item Friday. I am your host Johnny over here at Dying Breed Collectors. So today we will be looking at my personal copy signed by Mike Zeck of Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 8, first appearance of the symbiote black costume. Real quick before we dive in, remember if you are looking for any discounted and or out of print collected editions, dyingbreedcollectors.com. Everything is available in hand, ready to ship. No special orders, no cancellations. Everything is in stock. That is on the website. So, that being said, let's dive into this. So, yeah, man, Secret Wars number 8. One of the most iconic covers of all time. First appearance of the black costume, as I already stated. It's a key issue of Spider-Man, even though it's not a Spider-Man issue. So, in, some ways, in quotes, first appearance of Venom, if you want to say that, because, some people argue, cameos, like in 298, 299, he has those little cameos, or are those his first appearance, and the suit's kind of like who Venom is, but no, I would say no, but some people might, but, first appearance of the symbiote suit, cool nonetheless. So, how did I acquire this, and why am I telling you about it? This is actually one of the better stories in my arsenal, I think. The way I acquired this was incredibly unique. I think it's one of the, most endearing stories that I have. It's very nice. It's very cool. Somebody did something very nice for me to get me this, so I would like to share the story behind it. So, to set the stage, I've got to bring you back to when I acquired this, which was the summer of 2016, more specifically August. So, August 2016. Also, important to the story, my birthday is August 20th, so that kind of plays into this. So every year prior to the pandemic, Wizard World would fall on the week of my birthday, which was awesome. Even though Wizard World isn't as good as C2E2 here in Chicago, C2E2 is way bigger and better, having a comic convention on your birthday is really cool. So that was always what I did the week of my birthday. That's to celebrate for my birthday. Sometimes it would fall on the actual day. Sometimes it would just be the weekend of, but always that week. Very cool. So in 2016, I was also a full-time yoga instructor. Yeah, catch that. Your comic book dealer used to be a yoga instructor. For 4 years, that's what I did full-time. That was my job. Very cool. So when I was a yoga instructor, I had a Sunday morning class in Glenview, which is a suburb here in Chicago, suburb of Chicago, I should say, suburb in Illinois. And in Glenview, I had a class Sunday mornings that was easily my favorite class. I just had a really good connection with that community. A lot of people would come. I would regularly, easy for me to say regularly, we're just going to go with that, get 30 to 40 people. A lot of them were consistent repeats, so I had a good rapport with people, and I'm very personable, I know, I'm very humble as well. So I'm personable, so I like to share stuff like I am with you guys now, and I would share stories with these people. So, like I said, this is a Sunday class. So the week before Wizard World, before my birthday, it's the day before that Sunday class. It's Saturday the week before Wizard World. I go to Half Price Books with a buddy of mine, and somebody had just sold their entire Todd McFarlane Amazing Spider-Man run that day. They were still pricing the books, including Spider-Man 300. So I ended up buying them because it was an insane deal, and I'm not even going to tell you how cheap the book was because the Spider-Man 300, I still have this freaking price tag. It was so cheap, and I ended up getting it graded and selling it later on, and I partially regret it, but that's a different story for a different time. But anyway, in that moment, I acquired the entire Todd McFarlane run, 298 to 328 minus 327 because that's an Eric Larson issue, and the Spider-Man 300 was the big kahuna of that lot. So I get this run, and so that's on Saturday. So the next day, Sunday, I go to my yoga class, and I'm telling my class about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm a really big comic book fan, and I love Spider-Man, and last night I got these awesome Spider-Man books, and I'm so excited because next weekend is my birthday, and I'm going to this comic convention, and wow, what a great week to be me. So I just threw that out there. That's all I said. I don't even think, if I remember correctly, I don't even think I mentioned like what Spider-Man books I got, because I'm like, nobody in the class is going to know what a Spider-Man 300 means. They just know who Spider-Man is. So I got Spider-Man books. Like, I'm almost positive I did not give details. So next week, Saturday, I go to Wizard World. Since I just acquired that run and, I got the Spider-Man 300, I was like, man, I should get a Secret Wars number 8. Like, that would make a lot of sense. So at the convention, I was looking for this, and I remember at one point I even had one like in my hand, like asked the, vendor, could I see your book, looking at it. And sometimes at conventions I can get a little trigger shy, to be honest. It's really weird because like I'll always go like with wide eyes and like a pocket full of cash, and then like, I don't know, then it comes time to pull the trigger and I'm like, oh, gotta make sure this is the right choice. And for whatever reason, I end up deciding against it. I had already bought some other stuff, so I spent money. I'd already spent money. So I don't know. I remember looking at the price tag. I think it was like $90, like something like that. And I was like, man, even if I try to haggle, like, I don't know if I want to spend another, 75, 80, $85, whatever it would have ended up being if I did haggle. So I end up going against it. Do not get the book. This is where it gets crazy, man. So the next day, Sunday, I go to my yoga class, and one of the students, one of the regulars, a dude named David, I feel comfortable sharing his first name, there's a lot of Davids in the world, I just a regular customer, client, whatever, I'm waiting at the desk in the morning, and he comes up to me, and he goes, hey man, you mentioned last week that you like comic books, and you mentioned it was your birthday, I wanted to give you something. So he hands me a bag, little brown bag, like clearly a comic book in there. And I'm like, oh my God, what? Like, that's so crazy. And I open it up, and there's this copy of Web of Spider-Man #1, which is an amazing comic book. Charles Vest cover. Charles Vest did a couple Spider-Man covers. He did this. He did Amazing Spider-Man 261. I think it's 261. It's like a hobgoblin holding Spider-Man in flames painting. Like, this looks like a painting. It's beautiful. Charles Vest. He also did the Spirits of the Earth, I believe. Graphic novel, Spider-Man graphic novel. Charles Vest, really great artist. Look him up. So, it's this copy of Web of Spider-Man #1. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, like, that's so cool. I love Web of Spider-Man 1. It's great comic. Like, thank you for thinking of me, man. And he's like, yeah, dude, no problem. Hey, turn it over, is what he says to me. And I turn it over, and, he had it double bagged, man. On the other side, Secret Wars #8, man. Secret Wars #8. I flipped out. Like, you can't see me on camera. I'm kind of flipping out right now. I flipped out. I was like, what? I'm like, dude, this doesn't make sense. I'm like, I was looking for this book yesterday at a convention. I had one in my hand, and you're giving me one? And he was like, yeah, dude, like, I remember him telling me that he had his comic books in his closet, and he tried getting his kid into it, but the kid didn't take to it, which is fine. My benefit. So, yeah, man, he didn't want the book to go to waste, so he gave it to me. And I just, this is cool too. This is great. I already had a copy of this. That doesn't, this is the one he gave me. I know for sure I also kept the one he gave me. But man, how unbelievable is that? So, it wasn't signed when he gave it to me. So, keep that out of the picture. So, I actually ended up getting it graded. There was a short period of time where, I wanted to get my key issues graded. So I sent this one in, came back an 8.5. It was like, okay, whatever. It was a free book. I love it. Love it. I was more about having the book. And, I was going to just, keep the 8.5. Well, a few years ago, 2-3 years ago, at a little convention in Rosemont, which is another suburb of Chicago near me, there was a pop-up convention. It was like a one-time thing. And Mike Zeck, frickin' artist, my man, if not my favorite, one of my favorite 80s artists, was going to be there. And I'm like, dude, I'm getting him to autograph that frickin' book. So I cracked the CGC case, took it to the convention, met him. This is also pretty funny. I made him laugh. I met him, and I had this book, and I had 3 other Captain America books. So I had him sign this, and I kind of quickly told him the story I just told you guys. I'm like, oh, I got this for free from a yoga student. I don't think he caught on. It's fine, because I couldn't talk as long as I am on this video, in person. But the thing I did, that I made him laugh with the 3 Captain America books. I lay them on the table, and I go, all right, man. I go, I don't know which one of these I want autographed. If you were the guy who drew these, which one would you want to sign? And he like looked down at them, and then he looked up at me and smiled, because you realize what I said, that I made it funny, because, you know, he did draw them. So he laughed. He thought that was pretty witty. So I ended up getting Captain America Annual number 8 signed. It was the Captain America book he picked. So, but yeah, man. So Michael Zeck autographed my Secret Wars number 8, gifted to me by my student David at the yoga studio. Unbelievable story. So that's really it, man. Like, there's not much more to say. You know, I'm going to keep it in this frame. I'm going to keep this forever. I think the story is great. Thank you for listening. Thank you for checking this out. You can check back every Friday for a new edition of Featured Item Friday, where we can check out something else from my personal collection. And as always, if you're looking for any out-of-print or discounted collected editions, DyingBreedCollectors.com. Everything is on hand and ready to ship. No cancellations, no special orders. So, thank you all so much for checking it out. I will see you next week. Have a great weekend.